can even say that it didn't like stop. Sure. That could be factually true too, but that doesn't take away from the effort to make it stop as a whole, okay? And you can even say, oh, they're so violent, they're so everything else, but that just reinforces my point that, like, if you really think they're that violent and everything, and you have that view of, like, I want my family to survive, and it is not, as Debbie was saying, more imminent than, the social collapse, because clearly it wasn't, or he would have kept it going.
Dude,
that's not cowardice. That's not cowardice.
We went through a micro social collapse in 2020. Not only is
it's not cowardice to do what is right and best for children.
We went through a micro social collapse in 2020 where we watched dude, let me finish. We went through a micro social collapse in 2020, the result of which resulted in tens of dead, billions in damage, and hundreds of thousands of assaults across the country. The only limitation was a perceived moral righteousness that the people that were causing this violence had. That's going away. They are literally losing they're literally using the position of they're in the right, so therefore they're just going to prevent themselves from killing others. They think that
Go ahead. Sorry, finish. Nope, I thought you were done. Finish. My bad.
We are at a point in society where these people have actively started, firebombing churches, shooting up homes, utilizing the police to actively position policy against them. Mass arrest, mass financial litigations to the point where they're suing people to death. Like, people are committing suicide due to lawsuits that these people are imposing. These are lawyers, these are librarians, these are educators, these are people in power. These are not just your normal everyday, this is just some random person who was just extreme in the street. No, these are people that will, if they get what they want, you will be at their mercy. And you have to only say, well, what now?
What does that do to actually take away from my argument? I haven't heard a single thing that actually makes a point against
the fact that Crowder, when he did what he did not think that his name held that much weight. He did not think it would result in the people actively hunting down him and his family, because he did not think that it was feasible, let alone imaginable, that somebody could be that inherently evil, and he was wrong.
What does that do to take away from the fact that, again, doing what you can to safeguard your children is not cowardice?
Because if he's dead, his children are now the next target. That's the reality. Because you want to know what has happened after,
No, but the whole point, the whole effort was for him to not have that happen. That was the whole point of him getting away from the limelight and everything, right?
Charlie Kirk is dead, right? We can agree on that, right? Charlie Kirk is dead?
No,
did you know that?
No. I think he's alive somewhere. Yes, of course we can agree he's dead. Jesus Christ.
So then you would agree that. Okay, so then let's break this down, right? Charlie Kirk is dead. Do you know his parents, or do you know his wife and children are still being menaced by these people?
How does that take away from the fact? No, I get that. How does that take away?
I'm about to explain it. Because Steven Crowder, it was in the exact position that Charlie Kirk was in before he died. Okay. He stepped away thinking that this would protect his family, and the result was still it didn't. The fact that
the result does not take away from the fact that he did what he thought he could. That's not cowardice.
I'm sorry. Yes, it is. He fundamentally, because because Steven Crowder fundamentally believes that these people are a fundamental threat to the existence of the West. He truly does believe that if these people win, his children will be in a very dangerous place. Him stopping this is fundamentally against his own moral position.
He's being
because there is a difference between being in a dangerous place and being in a place where, like, life is no longer worth pursuing.
He literally
there's a difference between what?
He literally thinks that. He thinks that these people win, that people will just die in the streets for no fucking good reason. People will just be killed, slain for religious practice. I mean, for Christ's sake, dude. Steven Crowder has made multiple comments saying that if the left wins, he will die, his children will die, his wife will die, everyone he knows will die. So yes, it is kind of hypocritical for him to then go into hiding after he's fighting a movement that he says is fundamental for the survival of not just himself, but for everyone he cares about.
He's being a coward, if you can't tell.
I'm sorry, but no, not necessarily, because the fight can still be taken up by other people and whatnot. No, this is the problem. No, this is the problem. No, this is the problem right here. Nick, please, let me finish. Let me just say this right here. Let me just say this right here. This is part of the problem right here, okay? Fire Owl says a thing, okay? I start to respond, but you have a notion in your head too, so that you want to then be heard as well. I'm not even blaming you. This isn't a blame thing. This is just like observing the natural like flow of this kind of thing.
Okay? Oh, I can finally piss!
But that means that you start talking. I haven't finished what I'm saying. This is what I mean when I say it's really hard for me to finish a point or to get what I'm trying to say across when I'm debating multiple people at once.
Uh-oh, he got his black American flag hat. Everybody watch out. This thing is really extreme right now.
Dude, I don't.
It's my Black Air Forces, guys. I got my Black Air Force.
I just don't know. I don't know if I like this whole word moral that keeps getting brought up.
I actually needed to pull out my hat. Yes, thank you. No, I just got tired of messing with my fucking hair on camera, so I just got a hat.
Shit, dude.
That's what you do.
So, can I just
So
say
that's
something?
my issue.
I agree with Viral's statement on him being a pussy because now let me defend my argument and you can rebuttal it and refute it. Thank you.
I was in the middle of a thing, and now you're okay. Fine. But I just want wait, hold on. I'll even let you go, but I want you to acknowledge that this is happening. I was in the middle of something, and that now you're interrupting me to interject.
I haven't been able to say anything for a while now, for like the past 20 or so minutes.
This is why this is basically impossible for me to engage in.
But I would like to say something for my own sake of the argument. I do agree to a certain extent that Steven Crowder is being a pussy. Now, hear me out. The reason why I say that is because when you're actively, like, advocating for something, like how these people are dangerous, and then saying that if nobody does anything, it'll be consequential disaster for everybody else. His wife, his kids, his family, the Christians, everybody in America. It will be consequential for them if nobody stands up to fight. And when you get attacked or speaking out against them, you immediately go into hiding and being a coward because somebody attacked you for your beliefs. Sorry, that's real pussy shit.
That's a disingenuous representation of the facts as far as I'm concerned. Let me describe why.
Okay, I'll let you go.
You're saying that if they attacked him, and quite frankly, I agree with you on that one. If it were just that, there would be no disagreement here. If you believe what you believe, and you don't have anything of substance, and when I say substance, I mean like real substance, family, that kind of shit, just so we're all on the same page. If you don't have anything like that to lose, yeah. If you step away at that point, and those are truly your beliefs and your convictions, yes, you are a coward. If there's an olive branch to extend, that is the one that I will extend, because if that's the case, full stop. We agree. You know what I mean? My disagreement is when your kids are involved, because your first and foremost responsibility is not to the future longevity or the threat of this or that or whatever, but to the immediate well-being of your children. That is not just a belief that I have. That is literally the law. If you were to continue to engage in activities that would put your family at that kind of threat, there is a reasonable chance or a reasonable case to be made for Child Protective Services to get involved, because you are then prioritizing something above the well-being of your child to the point that is a detriment to their safety. That is literally illegal. And I'm not going to go into how I know, but trust me, that much I know. Just trust me, because of my own personal experience here, which is a wild form of bullshit.
It also depends on the actual area in which this is happening, and again, the perceived danger. Like, for example, if you are in danger from your work, like in Texas, for example, where Steven Crowder resides, the danger imposed by his work would not be directly tied to his actions. Therefore, he would not be held liable if he did not do what is necessary to protect his family.
It's his job, basically, to do that.
To a degree.
No, it's not even to a degree. That is under Texas state law. God. No, but that's Texas state law, dude.
Can't argue with that.
You didn't even let me finish what I'm saying. You wouldn't even let me, like, you'd have no idea what I was about.